Everything's good? How are y'all doing? It's been a minute. We're gonna get this camera up and going. Doing some final little touches on what's going on today. How's everybody in chat? Alrighty, so today, boom, we have a BMW 5 Series. This one's gonna be fun. Ooh, I forgot my overlays. Let's turn those suckers on. Main, right? Awesome, cool. I was wondering, there's always something that I forget. It's good to have everybody here today. It's good to be back. I was not on an extended leave. It literally has taken me this long to get another car in here. We had marketing going. We had a good week. And then I pretty much just rode that week out and didn't have any other marketing. So then we restarted some stuff, got some more inquiries and whatnot, did some video in the meantime, and here we are today. So we got this back. I actually have a ton of inquiries, but there's been like extended shutdowns and just like, you know, a mess of other things that have kind of been slowing things down more so than I'd like. But like this morning I got probably 3 to 4 different inquiries, and then I have a couple things scheduled for next week. So hopefully Wednesday will be the next live stream. Oh no, actually I got one scheduled for tomorrow morning. So I think we're gonna be back tomorrow morning with the Cadillac CT6 or something like that. Should be fun. Oh yeah. What's up, Jaybird? Atomic, Deadlift. Good lot of people in the chat. Clint, somebody at the very beginning. Jose, Imperial, Car Tint Philippines. Awesome. Welcome everybody. Bright and early. I know there wasn't much notice on this one, but hey, we got it. We're gonna drink some coffee and then get going. Oh. So, a couple things on this car. Third brake light has to be removed. I already pulled the plastic cover that goes on that, but I have to still pop off the third brake light. So we're gonna do that, just very minimal. We gotta still prep it. Haven't touched anything on this car yet. These usually have deeper seals on like the quarter windows, and I don't know, that 5 Series really aren't that bad. We have to be a little bit careful on the back glass because as far as I know, there's probably like a little amp underneath that deck lid. So we might have to lay down like a soak rope or something just to keep that extra safe. Let me get my coffee. Yeah, I had to get mine before I went going. Excuse the noise too. I have the heater going for a minute longer because, man, it's a little chilly today. We dropped all the way down to, I don't know, like 40s, and it started snowing a little bit outside. Like, we had like 70, 65, 70, 75. Like it was nice for a little stretch there. And then all of a sudden it just got cold. But then Saturday rolled around and all of a sudden my phone started blowing up today. So I scheduled another appointment for 1:30 today as well, but I don't think I'm gonna do live on that one. Usually we just stick to the one because it's kind of exhausting by the end of it. But yeah, we're just killing a little bit of time getting going here. I actually have the GoPro already pre-set up, and I've got to put a security cam on the outside, which is pretty great. Messing around with those. It's still a little buggy. We're getting a floor too. I'm really excited about. Just put the order in yesterday. We're getting a race deck floor in here. I'm doing black and green and probably dark gray. What percentage? We're going with 20% C2 carbon. So it's going to be a little bit darker. Aww. I just got a message back from the Cadillac I just did. I did the front doors in 35%. He's pretty stoked about it. He just sent me a message saying thank you. That's awesome. Pick only 3 tools to tint. Which ones? You definitely need a handle squeegee. You definitely need a knife. And do we need a long squeegee for the back window? Probably not. We could probably figure out a way to get around it. I'd say something for the sides, more for the edges. It's a tough one. I could definitely do it with 4. 3 is a little bit tougher. Or you could just get a card, as long as it doesn't scratch, and you could get in a lot more places. Hello from Sweden. Whoa, welcome. You inspired me to tint. I learned a lot from you. Keep making awesome videos. Thanks, dude. Over on Twitch. Awesome. It's nice to know I have a very small viewership on Twitch. But we don't fuck around with Twitch too much. I watch a couple of people on Twitch, but I kind of stream to everywhere. Twitch, I don't know. I don't want to be locked down there. That's the only disconcerting thing about them. Yellow turbo, knife, and easy reach. Yep, right in there. Tinting a full 15 Impala, 20% right now. Nice, very nice. I think the car I have coming in is an Impala after this one. I forgot what it is, but it's a full car. I had 2 people this morning call in. No, 3 people call in this morning. And one of them was like, can I get it done today? And I was already booked up at that point. And there was another guy, first call this morning. He's like, oh, yo, man, I want to get my windows tinted. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I can sneak in probably 1:30, 2 o'clock. He's like, okay, cool. How much is it? And I told him $240. And he was like, what? Oh, I'm going to have to let you know about that one. Click. And then 15 minutes later, got another call. Hey, man, I need to get my windows tinted today. All right, $240. And he's like, okay. Sometimes you got to stick to your guns. You never know what's going to pop up next. Have you ever used Avery Dennison NR Nano Ceramic IR or know much about it? I have not actually used their ceramic. I've heard that it's pretty soft. It's like, I haven't heard the best things about it. I would hope it would be good, but I don't know. For some reason, I haven't picked it up because of some of the things I've heard about it. That's why you hear me most of the time saying NR. And then I was honestly looking for, a better carbon and a better ceramic. So that's why we've got Geo on the back windows, or on the back walls over there. Greetings from, I'm guessing that means Ireland. Welcome, dude. Is that true? American cars have softer seals than European? Yes. Very, very true. So, domestic American vehicles are pretty forgiving on a lot of things. They're just like loose tolerances. They nickel and dime everything. So they try and get the cheapest stuff possible. Our build quality is not amazing. So a lot of American cars will be much easier than, let's say, stuff like this. But our live streams have been on some Audis, BMWs, and some European cars. So, I keep the same style through and through for the most part. VW is really where it can get annoying. Like I saw somebody post this morning on VW Jetta. Those things aren't super fun. What tint do you use? I use GeoShield for the most part. In here, I really like GeoShield C2 carbon and their Pro Nano ceramic. Looking into their dyed though, so we can round it all out with Geo. Today's pickup truck day. I got 2 F-150s and 1 Silverado. I've had tons of those days. Man, some of the best days too can be just front doors back to back to back. It's a lot of pulling cars in and out, but they're quick turnovers. And if you can do front doors, you can usually make more money just off of doing front doors in and out all day. If you're doing the full ones though, that's even better. German cars can get tight with the seals and also have felt. Yep. Yeah, there's a number of issues with them. Just tighter tolerances in general. They usually have better build quality. I'll say that. What's the pricing for the Beamer? So this one, we are actually doing at $240 on this one. So he works in the healthcare system. So we're hooking him up with some Geo, some carbon, a little better pricing, so. Shadows suck. I've had to remove the deck lid to do the back window. I've ripped through a couple pieces of film on that back window with the bulldozer. That brake light, like, it really kind of tucks far down, but it gives you some clearance. But I actually had it on video where when I went to sweep behind the brake light, I wasn't as careful and I bent the bulldozer a little bit too much and it ripped a hole right in it. I've done that a couple times. Actually, on my live stream I did for my 30th birthday. That fucked it up right when I hit like 30,000 subs that day. That was crazy. When are you gonna get started or learn how to tint from you? We're gonna get started in a minute here. I was just kind of letting everybody filter in. The reason for the long intros are always just to kind of put the notifications out there, give people some time, and then, you know, we get going. So it was cool though, the front doors. I actually had front doors with quarters on the Cadillac. That was $100. This is $240, and then I got another one coming in for $240. So we're doing some decent money out of here today. Nothing like, we're not setting any records, but considering what it has been, it's good. And then we have another car tomorrow, and then I've got Monday booked somewhere else, I got Tuesday booked somewhere else, and then Wednesday we should have another full car here. And then it looks like I'm going to be able to get a couple things for Wednesday, so we'll see. And then, like, again, Thursday is booked, Friday is booked. So really, I wanted to give myself more time out of here, but, you know, sometimes when other, you know, I have 2 accounts really, and then they called me and they have a bunch of minivans that they need tinted, and we kind of have to space them out a little bit. So I have to choose basically between making the money or setting aside the time for here, and it's a tough thing right now when it was extra slow here. So kind of go get it. But left Wednesday open, it looks like Wednesday's gonna pan out, so that's good. Yeah, sometimes it gets really busy and then it can get really slow. It's the nature of window tinting. I want to kind of try and keep a buffer and get a client base that's okay with at least scheduling like maybe 2 or 3 days out, and then just kind of ride that. That would be great, because I don't want to do a lot of cars out here every day. I just want to stick to like 1 or 2. How to prevent the tint to not pop off from the back window? It comes off at the bottom. Ooh. Maybe it's overshrunk? I don't know. I usually don't have the tint just like lift off the bottom. That's disconcerting. I don't know what you're using either. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and get started here. So let's go ahead and prep it. We gotta put the GoPro on. We gotta turn the heater off because now it's getting toasty, but it'll get not so toasty. Ooh, I like that. I just had it plugged into the charger the whole time. Neat. All right, so we're gonna switch. Cool. So let's go over here. Shut her down. Oh, it actually is pretty damn warm in here. But it's gonna get colder. By the end of this, it's gonna be chilly. Maybe glass isn't clean enough, maybe overshrunk. It sounds more like overshrunk. It's weird. I don't know, if you squeegeed everything out evenly, it shouldn't just lift up off the bottom. That's not, most people will have like little fingers that pop up off the bottom, not necessarily it rolling back in. If I saw it, I could probably tell you. Just over text, though, it's kind of hard to diagnose exactly what the issue is. How much do you normally charge for removing tint from windows and retint front windows? So normally, tinting front windows starts here at 80. God, this one, we gotta pull that off. These are the bunk strips. These are the ones that I didn't send to customers because I saw they looked extra dirty or there was an issue. I screwed myself into perpetual bad rolls of glass aid. But as far as the removal goes, it's usually like, it'd be like 15, 20 bucks per window for removal. Depending on like if it was my film, it wouldn't be bad. If it's somebody else's film, it's gonna take a little bit longer. Probably 20 bucks per window and then 80 to retint the front too. Thanks for introducing me to the shank for bottom loading. Oh, you're welcome. I'm still mixed feelings on that little tool, but people love it. I do too, but I just still think it's funny. This little guy. Oh man, I gave that little tool so much crap in the beginning. It was like 5 years before I actually started using it. Instead of removing third brake light, can you just cut around it? In theory, yeah, but you don't have any good way to do that. So some of them will have like a dot matrix border that goes around here, like, you know, on Chargers. But Audis, BMWs, you don't really have anywhere clean to put the film, and it's really tight, so it's better to just remove it on these ones. I remove very few things, but the brake lights are not that difficult to remove. You look exactly like a gamer named Tint Wiz. He has a pretty big channel here on YouTube. Oh, it's kind of cool. The lighting and everything is supposed to be a gamer-esque vibe anyways. I tinted a dot matrix and it fell off one day later. What kind of vehicle? Was it like a Mustang by chance? Like the older ones? Does glass aid save time? No, I wouldn't say it saves time because it just took me a little bit to put it around the border. But what it does do is save the glass. So that's its primary function. Being able to see it underneath the film is really a byproduct of, like, it's a way to help catch that time back so you don't have to fuck around with the light too much. So it's about equal. Because I wasn't about to use something that takes me that much longer out in the field, so that's why I like it. After installation, I get some small fingers at the bottom. So if you see, that's normally the issue. If somebody's got little fingers at the bottom after tinting it, you haven't shrunk it enough. So usually what'll happen is you shrink it and then you cut it out and then you look at it and you go to install it and you might have some fingers at the bottom. What you want to do is after you cut it, go and polish up your edges with a heat gun again and you'll be a little bit better off. Should probably put a stripe down this way. wonder if I should have told the appointment to come in a little bit later. How long did it take to get used to double cutting? I didn't really start double cutting until I was already proficient at tinning, and that's just because I didn't know about it very much. Lexan. That's the first time it's ever come off. Interesting. I don't know. So every film's going to be a little bit different. All right, we need... Where's my 20? Carbon 20? Oh, do we have a new one? Carbon 20. Oh, no, we're running low. We're running real low on this one. So we do have a new one. But we're going to see where we're at on this one. Should be good. Cool. We're good for now. We're going to be out of this one soon. What's up, dude? Can you show me how to remove the third brake light? Yep, we'll get to the removal on the third brake light. We're gonna start cutting though, and then we'll get to the third brake light. All right, we need to turn this sucker on. Key. Off. I'm waiting for like a radio station to chime in. Doesn't sound like there's going to be one. Okay. So these are definitely deep. These ones aren't like super tight, but they're definitely a little deeper, especially in this leading edge here. So that'll be a little bit tricky. These back doors really aren't crazy. You just have a lot of plastic paneling in the way on the inside. But as far as BMWs go, they're not too bad. We got a hard rubber seal in here, except for like we got such a wide edge here, so we'll use that to our advantage. What you can do is kind of cut exact on here, maybe like a little bit slimmer if you wanted to, and then use this wiggle room here to shift it over. So this is really, really nice to have. Okay, we got some headlights on. Let's turn those off. I think the window lock is on. Not anymore. These videos are so awesome. Oh, thanks, man. Hey Matt, greetings from the Netherlands. Love these cars, doing them 1, 3, and 5 series. Hey, dude. Yeah, they're not bad. I think the ones that worry me the most are like the M series. I used to hate doing BMWs. It was just like, you know, whenever I got a BMW, I'd have a headache with not only the car, but sometimes like it would just be both the car and the customer, and I don't want to like blanket statement for BMW customers. I don't know. I couldn't tell you at this point. I've done so many now though that I don't have any problems with them anymore. So this guy that dropped this off was very, very cool. Take as much time with it as you need. Excited about it to be on the channel, which is pretty fucking cool. I always like that. We are using a GoPro right now, the GoPro 8 Black. I was looking into a couple other ones though. They're starting to come out with some interesting competition. Insta360 has a 1R with a bigger sensor, and I kind of want to pick that up as soon as it does live streaming. I want to look at some video and see if it's any better. Because I got some issues with the way the GoPro does color and stuff like that, but I can't change it really. What soap? Right now we're using good old Sesame Street baby shampoo, actually. I want to make a video on it, believe it or not. Just started tinting. Videos have helped a lot. Oh, that's awesome. Glad to hear it. I've got a pretty extensive old library. I should probably get back to remaking some of them, but there's been some other channels that have done really, really well. So it's good to have like some current how-tos and stuff like that, even though they're a little bit different than I usually do them. Everybody's got their own style, and it's cool. It's one of the, there's a lot of flexibility with tint. How's the Clear Max? The Clear Max is a little bit soft. I mean, that's the purpose of it, but like it's a little too soft, but I've been running with it just because, I don't know, just trying to be extra safe right now with some scratching. I don't like the amount of water that it leaves behind though. But that's why you have the orange crush, so I just need to pick up some new blades at this point. Any shaving practice? No. No, not really. Enough other things. I don't know. It's something that I want to do here, but it's not something I've had people ask about. And people really like the work anyways, so it's like, it's kind of what I thought before, but I wanted to like be able to do a couple of extra things out of here. So we'll revisit it, but it's definitely a frustrating thing to learn without taking the time to really dry out the windows. It's not something I can do incredibly reliably right now. These are a little bit more curved too. They're not bad, but probably gonna do a little extra at the bottom. How do you cut the top so perfect? Okay, so no joke. So we got a couple of different blades here. I wonder if we can just... Oh, GoPro. Okay, so I know the focus. I'd have to adjust the focus, but you see these two different types of blades here? This is a 30-degree carbon steel. It's more in focus back here than up here. And these are the 60-degree NT. Wait for it. There we go. So I've had better luck with the carbon steel 30 degrees for top edges. And I'm basically at the end of my pack with these stainless steels, but these dull faster. And I was having a frustrating time today cutting a top edge. So I was because I was just using the stainless steel because I'm I'm almost out of both at this point. I need to pick up some more. So I was just using the stainless steel blade, and dude, it was just dragging and being a butt. It was really, really annoying. So I've noticed an easier time overall cutting with a 30-degree carbon steel blade, but do it on the top edges only. Stay away from the like cutting on the glass with carbon steel, because it's harder and you'll scratch the glass that way. But I need a couple new packs. It's just getting to the end and they've been bouncing around a bunch. They're starting to dull out. So I used the 60-degree stainless steel for years. And every once in a while you just get it where they start to drag a little bit more. But it was dumb annoying this morning. But yeah, I don't know. I keep both. So right now, use a 60, cut the sides. Sometimes you can just develop hang-ups too, which can be really annoying. Like you won't have an issue and then all of a sudden you'll keep doing that one thing. You don't understand what's going on. That's happened to me a bunch of times with random shit. Then you start to overthink everything that you're doing. The 30-degree carbon steels I usually just buy off of Amazon, believe it or not. They're really cheap, but get the 60-degree stainless. I just checked. They're like 25 bucks. So they're getting more expensive on Amazon than you can buy them from a tool supplier. But pick them up off of, like the other blades, pick them up off of Tint Depot. If you can save a couple bucks on the carbon steels, then do that. But get the NT. They seem to be a little bit sharper than the Olfas in my recent experience, but Olfa's got the more branding, I think. They're both good though. Where do you get dot tricks? You know, to be 100% honest, I don't know. I'd Google that one. Check Tint Depot if they don't have it. I'm not sure. It's not something I've installed in a long time. I don't know. I used to use it, and I think it served its purpose on some less expensive cars, but you don't really have that problem as much anymore. There are the certain cars that you do, so maybe keep it around for that, but I don't know. My issue is always like the places that I tinted for would never explain it until after the car was tinted and the customer was like screaming about it. And then they'd be like, oh, well, we have this solution for you that we didn't take the time to tell you beforehand. And now he's frustrated because he doesn't want to spend more money now because he just had it tinted. So Cost like $100 a roll, and it usually was just to keep certain people calm because lack of explanation. Still not a perfect solution though. Took me 9 months every day. It's not easy to learn. Oh, yeah, definitely not. I've been doing this, I think, for 11 years now. It's, yeah, it's incredibly frustrating to learn, but eventually, most cars, like you develop muscle memory, you get better. It's worth learning though. It's actually pretty nice because I fucked up that. I like messed up both door windows on the Cadillac this morning. I was really frustrated. It was like too cold in here and I was still waking up and I don't know. It was just the top edges though. So I had to like recut them. But even like sometimes it's just you run into those times more often when you're new. Just one thing after the next goes wrong. And it's hard to power through it, but just keep doing it. Eventually you'll develop a rhythm. But you just gotta force yourself to keep going. Shrinking on high seems to get those brim marks on the edges. Yeah. Yeah, like people are saying in chat, there's like this sweet spot for shrinking a back window where you've almost fry the edges and you're shrinking it down and you have to catch it right before you burn it. I mean, a lot of times that's why you, oh, come on. Wow, this is really just all of a sudden sticky. There we go. If I remember, we can go over it a little bit more on the back window, but you just got to get a feel for it. Let's see how this sticks. Answer. Not amazing. All right, let's get going on this one. We got a towel all ready to go here. Cool. We got some clay. Gonna give this a use again. It's all washed, which is nice. Just take it all out. It's cold. Lowe's for the plastic, but I'm gonna try some different ones. See if I can find one that's maybe a little bit more tacky, but again, I don't want it to leave residue. And then, you know, try and find one that's good for automotive. Tried the one that a company uses for like sealing in windows and stuff like that, but it doesn't quite stick to the door paneling as well as it does to the paint. So that's what they're usually meant for. Cool. See that black right there? That's what you don't want. Be extra thorough on the top edges. Ooh. Gross. I tried cheap film and tried expensive film from Suntech. So which one worked out better for you? Out of curiosity. I never thought about claying my glass. Yeah, you know, to be honest, I didn't either. This is a newer thing. The little story behind that is company sent me some clay bars and we were gonna make a video. Video fell through. And I still had the clay bars, and then I got used to using that glass scrub that I have. But then all of a sudden I didn't have it. So I was like, huh, how about this clay bar? We'll start trying some clay bars. And I think it's better to use both. The clay bars aren't gonna do exactly what the glass scrub does, but the clay bars help pick up little teeny specks, and it's not going to, like, you know, it'll like leave a little slurry behind that you can squeegee off, but it's like, the point is to pick up like little bits of grit. Can I take a training course on back windows? You know, I really got to get something going on training here. That would be a good one, just like a day back window course. You learn a lot. The logistics are always the tricky part. I've determined I have to plan them out in advance and literally just set it up like a small event and book spots. The only thing I don't like is, like, we don't have anywhere else to hang out other than in this garage. And if it's not nice, then it's going to be pretty fucking miserable in here. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but there's definitely some logistics. Cool. I'm a detailer. I stumbled across your videos one day, and that's it. Are you tinting now? I have a recent found respect for detailing. It's not that I ever discounted it. It's just like seeing where you can take it is fucking incredible. And that's incredibly encouraging because I don't even think most tinters are as far as where some detail places have taken their businesses. So. Oh, is it gonna pop up? Oh, I don't know. I think somebody just placed an order. I heard a cha-ching in my headset. Thank you. I don't know if the stream alert is active, which is really annoying. All right. On the side? Cool. This one's turning out pretty great, which is nice. It was sticking a little bit trying to get it in place. I have a pretty heavy amount of soap, I think. Somewhat accidentally and somewhat intentional. Okay, I'm rolling this back down to squeegee this out. That was from when I pulled the liner. It's just, I don't know, this film, I just want to be a little extra careful with how hard I press in the corners and stuff like that. It seems to have been pretty good though. There we go. Can anybody answer me why BMWs, like their windows always seem to pause? Like they have to think or wake up when you go to like pull the switch. So if I roll it down, it'll like take a minute. It's like a, hey, yo, dude, wake up. I don't know if that's just because I don't have the engine running and it puts it in like a standby state. So we are, I think we're done with one. Let's check out how this looks. We got, what is this? Oh, there we go. There's a little soap on the window. Dang. Okay, so we have a little fold that we got to heat out up here. We're going to let that dry first before we do that. Cool. This looks good. I'm still learning, but you've been a big help. Thanks, man. I'm not sure how much more helpful I can be other than live. Like, I mean, in-person training, sure, but as far as like video content goes, like doing this live always seems like there's like, for all the information out there, there's like a million questions everybody has. And this is like my best way of answering it. My dad was nice enough to lend me his 3 Series as a guinea pig. Bro, that's we're gonna turn that off, save battery. That's a little bit of an expensive guinea pig. Could be anyways. But hopefully he'll get a free good tint job out of it. I suggest covering some of the paneling on that when you're practicing though. You'll see me spray like a waterfall of water on my Explorer, but I wouldn't do the same for like certain cars that are a little bit pricier to fix if something were to ever happen. Most things are okay, but in moderation. What time is it? Where am I at? So he's coming in an hour. Okay, we're not doing too bad. We're moving a little slow, but that's okay. We move a little slow in here. He's dropping off, so we might have to like pause the stream. Not discontinue it, but might have to take care of a drop off and then finish this one up. We'll see. Clay in cold conditions is always a little bit tougher. I wonder if in really hot conditions the stuff is going to start to melt though. But I can't try that yet. How hard is a 2014 Impala? I believe that one has so I haven't seen Impalas, believe it or not, in a little bit. You have the very rounded body style, and then you have the update. The one that they updated, which I'm pretty sure that one is. The sides are pretty straightforward. The back window has a big, annoying third brake light that can be kind of a pain to tuck behind. If there's any way to remove that, that would be great. But usually I'll pull it down and just slide the film underneath it and sweep out behind it. It's not my favorite, but it's usually the biggest worrisome part. The clay will break apart in hot weather. Yep. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So we gotta figure out something if it's like really, really hot. Here, like I'm in a cooler state overall, so like we still have our 90-degree days, don't get me wrong, and it's humid as fuck. But hopefully it won't be too bad. I really like it so far for the back window. So maybe we have to just like try and cool it down significantly before we do it. Was there one question I wanted to get to? I'm back, just totally locked the keys in my client's car, double F. Oh, bro, I'm so sorry. Do you tint residentials? No, not yet. I don't know if I ever will. I just like my own space. I don't want to go to somebody else's house. I've done so much like mobile auto, and it's just like every house is like a different setup, and like I know flat's not that hard overall, and it's really, really good money, but there's just something about, like, I like trying to do a show out of tinting now. So the more I can do that is what I'm trying to focus on. But I've locked keys in the cars before. That's why you'll always see me like leave doors a little bit open. I never shut doors completely with keys in the car, ever. I've had some horror stories. And the worst was, oh my God. So, okay, so there's this one sales guy who shut the last door. So I had this really bad habit of pegging the locks down as I was tinting them to get them out of the way. So on a lot of cars that I was tinting at the time, rather than little like red indicators, they have those sticks, and they still do. Some are worse than others, but I would always just put it down to get it out of the way. And then I'd finish the window up, and then I wouldn't put it back up. And by the time I got to the driver's door, I'd hit the unlock and throw them all up. Well, I forgot to do that, and we were wrapping up the last car of the day. And I was wiping them down and closing them. Close that door, this door, and then that one was already closed. Driver's door was purposefully open, and then the sales guy just came back, and to move it out of his way, he shut it. And as he was shutting, I was like, no! And then he did it. And I was like, fuck. And he's like, what? I'm like trying to open it. This was at the end of the day on a Saturday. He's like, no. And then guess who's staying? Hour and a half late, trying to get fucking doors open because we're not prepared for that shit on a Saturday. That's when we got out early too. What a depressing weekend that was. What is this? I think this is 35. Yeah, because we're using the long roll. So how much do we got left? We might have enough for this back window. We need some film for some quarter windows. So what we're gonna do is set this film out on the back and then chop off the bottom for some quarter windows. What squeegee do you recommend? There's 3 right now. I really like the flat out. It's yellow. I really like the orange crush. It's orange, obviously. And then the clear crush is like, if you want to be extra safe, I'd recommend doing a clear crush. All of those squeegees are by Fusion. They've been making squeegees for a long time. They're pretty rad. I like the Blue Max too, but I don't know. It's like, it was my go-to squeegee for a long time. I think it's still good. It just nicks a little quickly, and then it wears out in comparison. So all the squeegees that I recommend, they're injection molded squeegees, so they typically last a little bit longer. They've got a nice feel to them. The Blue Max is from what I understand, it's an extruded squeegee, which is why they don't last as long. We always open the sunroof. Oh, that's smart. This one has it. That's a good idea. Some places I've seen, they just take the latches and they latch them. But my issue with that is if somebody accidentally goes to swing the door shut, it smacks the latch and it's like, ugh. I've never seen one break from that, but God, it is not a fun sound. Okay, so the inside seal on this is a little bit low. So we're okay with like overshooting it. I've honestly done the opposite. So I've been using the clear crush because I'm used to using one squeegee, but I've been trying to use the orange crush for like the cleaning, and then this because I was using the softest one possible. You could easily swap that and you'd be completely fine, so no fault there. I don't know. I'm rethinking some stuff. But just to like try some other stuff out is the only real reason. What was that one? Are you going to the Tint conference? Yeah, if they have it, I'll probably go. I'm a little bit undecided. Not because I don't want to go. Okay, so this one, like I said, is pretty tight tolerances, so I'm questioning my glass aid on this one. I think we'll be okay. But I want to shine a light just to like try and be sure. So what are we? Oh yeah. So my wife is pregnant. So I don't know if that's going to conflict with that time of the year too much. She's due in November. But obviously travel, so if we're not feeling up to it, sorry, we're just not going. But, and then also there's the whole like, Corona. So I would imagine things will be somewhat back to normal, but just kind of a lot of events are impacted by that. So there's no official word. As far as I know, it's still happening, but who knows? It's tough to say this early out, though. Yeah, that's smart, opening the sunroof. I actually might start doing that. But I haven't had an issue in a long time. So maybe it's one of those things where I won't do it until I have another issue and then regret it. Where do you buy the Squeegee? Here, I'll type it for you. Let's see if that works. Yeah, tintdepot.com. You can click that link that I just posted in chat. That's a list of my recommendations. All right, now let's see if my cuts are okay. It's a little tight in that corner. The rest of it's not too bad, but it's definitely snug. What do we think? We got our little plastic in the way. You can see it's like popping up. That's never fun, because I don't like to, gotta flip that edge in. It's got so much plastic paneling that kind of like comes this way, so you really have to like go in that way, but we're making things slightly more difficult than it has to be with this, the plastic started to lift. See, that's why we're still experimenting. Let's take off this glass aid. Make sure we're covered. Almost. Yep. I think we're pretty good. Is there any problem with seeing a window not in the car? It's always more difficult. I think, well, it's because I've never had a good setup for it, actually. So what you're going to want to do if you're tinting it out of the car is actually lean it towards you. So make a little stand, and you see how that's like tilted away. You'd want it opposite. Because I can't, this is one of those things that I can't really explain very well. Because this, like, you'll clean it 5,000 times in like a pristine environment. And then you'll go to tint it, and then it'll be speckled. So as best as I can tell, there's little chip maybe that just settles gradually, and you'll see speckles in your film. So if you tilt it like this, see how all the glass is like tilted this way naturally? That's how you want it to sit. So yeah, you can just like make a setup for it, but removing the glass to tint it outside of the car, like if that's the setup that you're going for, that's its own big pain in the ass, because there's like a million things that can go wrong with that. You can even scratch the film trying to get the glass back in the door. See, I just pushed the peg down. We don't want to lock keys in the car. Maybe somebody's jinxing me. Maybe I won't have the problem until this car. And that's that's the one that'll really set it off. And what's annoying is there's no like lock buttons on the doors for a lot of BMWs too. So you have to like go back over to like the key or something and then hit unlock. But we're gonna not jinx ourselves. What's that? Have you ever had nightmares removing tint? Oh yeah. There's a look at my recent videos for the Audi wagon. I didn't do the removal live, but the removal took me 2 hours. Any purpley flaky tint really sucks. I'm losing hope in window tinting. Every day I come home after tinting sad. Why? Why are you sad from tinting? I mean, in most cases, it's kind of just a regular job, which is why I try to be extra creative with like YouTube and shit. It took me probably 6 hours to tint my first car, but that was after I had been practicing. But like my first legit, here you go, that was like a 6-hour day on the one car. Let's get some plastic. How do you avoid specks in the edges on those quarter windows? So you saw that I washed it out a whole bunch, but the other thing is like squeegee up here as best you can, and then once you do, don't keep flushing this part out because it'll rain speckles. There's still stuff that can be trapped in the very edges. So like a clay bar will help, but squeegee it and then spray from like here going down, because then you won't drag stuff up there. Then you kind of have to like taco it. So like fold the film a little bit and like taco it into the sides. Okay, that distracted me. What did we come over here for? Plastic. Yeah, I experienced that. It took me 2 days to get the tint off. Yeah, not surprising. Steamers help. Adhesive remover, 100%. Like even if it's just like some bottles of Awesome for the back window, just having the right things will 100% help you speed it up. But there's some that are just so baked on, they're incredibly difficult to remove. That's why some removal quotes, like you have to be really cautious. Like I actually gave that guy with the Audi wagon a deal because he was like, I just need the back 3 removed, which sounded a little unusual, but it's like, oh, okay, yeah, no big deal. And then he asked if I could remove like the front 2, and then next thing I know, it's the whole thing, and he got the vehicle, picked it up from Florida, which is something that I don't encounter. So stuff that have been baking down in warmer states are, of course, going to be a lot more difficult. Which I kind of want to move to a warmer state, so I might screw myself. So I've just been making incisions for like the little spots where I need to roll down the windows, and that seems to be completely okay because it's not much and it's pretty covered up still. So can't find Awesome. Yeah, get ATR. ATR is a great adhesive remover. It's on tool websites. That and Epic Orange is pretty good. I'm just more familiar with ATR, but they have them on a bunch of tool websites. Like Tint Depot should have it. Which tint do I prefer to use? That stuff right there, GeoShield. It's been pretty spectacular. Oh, and it looks like, unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to run out of stock mid-month for Glass 8 again. Hopefully for only a week, but frustrations. Yeah, that leading edge is always a little bit tighter. Congratulations on baby. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we're pretty excited. And it was kind of nerve-wracking because, you know, everything's been shut down. So her first appointment was like pushed off at least 2 or 3 times by like a month worth of time total. It's like they'd call us and be like, we got to move it back 2 weeks. And it's like, holy shit. 'Cause like, you know, that was like for the first doctor's visit. They did a video conference with us, but it's like we'd really like to just like maybe an ultrasound. So we managed to get that on Thursday. Yeah, we went in for the appointment on Thursday, and then we had to schedule the ultrasound, but they managed to get us in the same day. And that was just like a huge relief. Everything's okay. We're all good. They gave us some medication because the first trimester is incredibly difficult so far. So there's been that going on too. But thank you guys. I appreciate that. I'm sure the next question is, how am I going to teach baby to be a tinter? Baby gets to be whatever baby wants to be. Is that literally the question that was just asked? I don't know. We'll see. Like, wholeheartedly teach some skills. But yeah, doesn't have to be. If anything, just teach, you know, everybody and their dog wants to be a YouTuber on some level, but teach content creation around a business, I think, is the most important things that need to be taught nowadays. But how, like who really knows, like, you know, in 15, 20 years, what the landscape is going to be like for businesses. I'm sure tinting is still going to be the thing. But as far as like social media stuff, like, you know, platforms change, stuff changes. And like, I don't know, whatever they do, I just want them to have that as an edge. So we'll see. We good? Okay, cool. Gotta make sure that corner doesn't pinch. It's always worrisome. Cool. That was a little worrisome. Sometimes you have to like use the shank and like you kind of drag it into the corner, if that makes sense, without creasing it. But that's like 100% difficult spot when it's tight. Like this spot, when like especially on like Jettas, Audis, that front corner is usually a big pain. So we're gonna roll it down just a little bit, and we are going to just squeegee that. Just want to make sure everything's all set here. Check this sucker out. We got a little bit, needs to be squeezed out here. CHR? Yeah, still tint it, like shrink against the spoiler. Most spoilers are just like a little lip and you can shrink right up to it and cut up to it. But you don't have to remove most of them. The Civic hatch is a different story though. Let's see. What was that? Ever use oven cleaner? No, I've heard about it, but it scares me. But it might be like awesome. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually. What was that? It's in the blood now. Baby will have a knack for it. That's what that comment was. You need a baby shower live. Thanks everybody for the nice comments. I appreciate it. Why does some tint crinkle when I try to do the sides? All of them will crinkle when you try and do the sides. Because it's a piece of polyester. It's not very flexible on 3 angles. So you can like, it'll roll up fine, but it's not like you can't really bend it or else it'll, like you said, it'll crinkle. So it'll roll up just fine, but then as soon as you pinch it and then you try and bend it, that's where you get all these like sharp points and crinkles and creases into the film. You have to pay attention and just be very methodical about your install. So we can kind of go over it a little bit on this one. Always pay attention to the way that I'm sliding the film into the seals and the way that I have it folded. I try to never have any sharp angles on that. So a window like this is going to be a little bit easier to do, but same principles still apply. That's why a lot of people will just do what's called bottom loading. Oh yeah, we need plastic. Let me go grab that. we're gonna put that peg down. Great. I think I wiped the towel on it so it's not sticking very strongly yet. Okay, what do we gotta do left? We gotta clay bar this, and we can get to that install. I know nothing about tinting, but this is entertaining. Glad you like it. No worries. Okay, so when we're going to install this window, usually my rule of thumb is half-half. So what I mean by that is like halfway down this one, halfway down this one. You can be a little bit farther. It's not that big of a deal. The idea is to give yourself enough clearance when you go to install it. So we have it just rolled, basically like it came rolled on the roll. And then very gradually start to unroll it onto the glass. Now, you'll have basically like a tunnel or a wave effect where I leave it hanging off of that side. And this is flat against the glass. So what we want to do is roll this up. You notice I'm never like trying to crinkle it. So it's just all 100% flat on the glass. And then you go to tuck that in. You get it just inside that seal, about where you think it's right, then start to roll it back up on the glass. But it's overlapping, so it's just gonna fall onto here. So we have to do something about that. So what I'll do is pull at the bottom and create a tunnel that'll kind of pull back. And then we do the opposite. We try and get this side flat on the glass. So literally the whole thing is flat on the glass, and then we slide it back in the other way. So from there, as long as, oh, I did that shit where it picked up point and then I wanted to stick, we should be okay. Let me check. So what's happening right now is sometimes when you slide it into a seal and kind of take your time with it, sometimes it's okay. Sometimes the seal will press and fix that point of the tint where everything else will slide around, but there's one point in there that decided to tack up. So I don't like doing this, but we're going to. So run a little bit of water and basically pull it free. You can hear it. Just pull back, and now I can slide it back and forth, tug it back into this seal, but that's basically the gist of it. That can happen, but you want to get it to lay flat, slide it in, make a little tunnel, slide it in. So the only points that are really butt up are down here. Everything else is even. The more the film crinkles and creases and shit like that, it's just gonna pull in dirt and look like garbage. So you gotta practice and refine that technique to where you're maneuvering the film very, very simply into the side seals. You don't ever want to fight with it. You can to some regard, but you want to avoid it as much as possible. Yeah, there's another window that's like falling asleep on me. So lift the film, sweep it out, and then be very careful, remove the liner. So now we have just the bottom half to install. So we need to take basically the opposite approach. We want to tuck the corners in and then roll it and then fold it down. So what I'll do is roll this onto the glass, get it so the whole corner is laying on the glass, and you start to notice that same thing where this film is laying flat against the glass. Pull back the seal, and then you're just going to slide it over some, but then this will start bunching up on the paneling, on the plastic. So we want to do the same thing, get that nice flat edge there, start to tuck in the corner, get it to about where you can, and then you have this middle section. So then gives you a little bit to roll it up, and then you create a tunnel. Now you're above the seal, and it gives you a little bit of flexibility to like sweep these sides in. Press all the air out, let it tunnel, and then all you have to do is squeegee out your window. But if you go back through all that, you'll notice you didn't hear the film a whole lot. You're never trying to get it to fight too much against you. You always just kind of want it to lay evenly down. Then you won't have any creases. All right, so let's do this quarter, and then we'll do the back. All right. Hopefully this one's not too bad. I can kind of see my dot matrix border anyways, but why are you yelling? Step it, you're good. Windows are done, so we can turn off the car. Do I have an Instagram? Yes, I do. Tint stuff on Instagram. And I also have Detroit Tint Studio, but that's for the business. I don't post very much on the Instagram, full disclosure, but I do have one. We need a heat gun. Don't think I'll have problems running a course. It's not that hard to be there and try and guide people through the things. It's just the logistics. So it's better to have some type of a facility for it. I mean, just doing out of here, yeah, it's fine. It works. It's at the end of the day, it's the same type of thing. It's just, you know, a little weird out of a garage is all. But then you make shit look and sound easy, and then you give people some film, and it's a different story. That's why I would 100% suggest messing with it in your own time before taking a class. There was a class that I taught in Chicago where that was not the case. There's a lot of people that were brand new to it, and they actually did really well. But there's a lot more overseeing that needs to happen for the basic stuff. Like even handling the film kind of seems really straightforward, and it is once you get used to it. But it's really, really awkward when you're first starting. It starts to slide all over the place, and you start bumping it into things, and little things that you didn't even think of begin to happen. So 100% fuck with it in your own time, then take a class. Oh, cool. I forgot I took the glass aid off. Just making sure I didn't have any edges that were like exposed or whatever. No, this is all good. Cut's good. Cool. A little bit more leniency on this side than the other. It's interesting. Do I have my own shop? Yeah, this is my own little studio. This is as much shop as I have. And I just opened it recently after tinting for 11 years. But there's people that have been tinting way less time that open up their places and end up doing pretty well. The hard part is the beginning. I mean, because when you're learning, it's very, very tough to just like make a promise to somebody that they're going to have a beautiful tint job at the end of it. But I would say get some practice on your own car, get some practice on some friends' cars, start doing it gradually, and then one day bring in a client and then spend all day on that car, or as much time as you can. Or as much time as you need, I should say. And then just start building that up. And before you know it, you'll have your own tint business that way. If you just like go open up a facility, you don't have a client base. So you'll be trying to float, and it can be difficult. Yay! That's a square window. Cool. We're pretty good. Oh yeah, car's off. So we got this back window we gotta do. What tint can I get that's not too dark but not too light? Yeah, he's right. Get 20. More often than not, 20%. 20. That's what we're doing on here. It's you'll see it on the back of trucks and SUVs. They're all riding with right about 20%. Unless they're non-American vehicles, then they might be a little bit lighter. But 20% usually is a safe bet as far as like looks go. It gives you like a silhouette privacy, but it's not blacked out. Cool, dudes. So can we set this camera up? What time is it? It's 1:08. How long we've been? Oh, wait. I gotta see the battery on this real quick. Main cam. Cool. Let's see how we've been doing. 20%. Oh, that's not too bad. Let's change it out while we got it. Because I have a dedicated cable now to switching out GoPro batteries, so I don't have to fiddle with it for too long. And we're just going to do it. And, oh no, come on, really? 1 second. Oh, there's one side that I think that's a little bit thicker than the other. Oh no, they're both. Oh, there we go. Cool. Gotta love GoPro doors. I should have used the other cable. The other cable's slightly thinner. It was bumping the battery. They don't really give you a whole lot of room to do this. We good? 100%. Yeah, no downtime. So if I get 20% on the sides and 55 on the front windshield, it'll make the car look darker. 50 on the windshield doesn't really make it look that dark, but it is noticeable. You'll still be able to see in through the windshield, but just at that immediate area. 35 would make it look pretty dark, but 50 and 20 is not bad. I like 35 on the windshield personally, but you're like, it's reasonably dark at that point. So let me make sure that there's no weird shit. Oh, okay. I think we're good. It's kind of hard to like come back and then go back through all your notifications really quick to make sure, because I've got like fucking business stuff now. But it looks like we're okay. Just got to make sure the other appointment's actually going to be here in like 20 minutes. Might be here a little bit sooner. Cool. All right, so let's do this back window. Let's say maybe we can get a camera on it. Maybe not. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, boy. We can shrink this. That should be good. All right. You guys ready? You guys ready for this? Bow! Did somebody order Glass-Aid? Was that a Glass-Aid notification? Oh, that's weird. My overlays are a little weird. All right, let's turn these back on. Cool. What do you guys think? Is that a pretty good? You see some shrinking? See some shrinking on that one? That'll be nice. All right, let's go back to GoPro. We're gonna do the passenger side first, and then, or driver's side, and then driver's side, and then, oh no, that's the desktop. So we should be able to have the camera for like some installation too, which would be good. Whoa. Hi from the Canary Islands. Hey, dude. What do you use for shrinking on the back window? Avery's course uses baby powder. That is kind of crazy. I've never heard of a course using baby powder. That's, I've never liked baby powder, but I know there's a lot of old school guys that use it. I've just never gotten along with it. So I use dry shrink prep and or dryer sheets. Something that locks the film down a lot better to the glass is what I prefer. So you can see when I sweep it down, it kind of sticks. Baby powder floats a lot more than that. Cool. All right, so you can see here, dang, look at that. That's good. So there's not a whole lot of shrinking that needs to be done, but we get this heat moving. And I remember somebody asked about like not frying the edges. You'll notice we'll get to this point where we'll gradually go down, and then the farther down that you go, the harder it is to shrink, and you get these little points that stick out. So you just want to try and get it down to that point, and then you get it and kind of cook it right at the end is what I like to do. And then we're gonna fix it back down. Sorry, I'm gonna try and get out of the way of the camera a little bit, but after I cut it, we're gonna go back and just touch up the edges real quick. I used to make a video on rear glass with a 4Runner. I hardly ever get those, so there's probably not going to be any of them anytime soon for me. But there are some channels that I think have that, so just look for it. Some people like to take them apart. They're a little bit intense. Yeah, so that's shrinking. GoPro. I remember somebody mentioning a back window camera. I think we might have to put one up there. Cause I don't know. I'm like undecided about having a door camera. I like that little camera right there, but I don't really utilize it a lot for moving it around. It's kind of a bit much. GoPro is just easy, and if I could just switch to a couple of them that generally cover a good space for what people ask about the most, I think that might be the way to go. Kind of switch to it and kind of don't. Static camera placements are always a little bit tough. I put the glass aid right on the edge of the border. And then cut in the middle, it gives me a nice little overlap all the way around. And then once we get to this part, then we pull it and we'll tack down our edges a little bit more. Good deal. So you'll notice right here, we got a couple little ripples. You can usually smooth those out, but sometimes what'll happen is when you go to install it, you'll have little fingers pop up. So this is where you kind of want to just cook it right at the end, right to the point where it might burn. It only takes a couple of seconds. And there we go. If try to get some dry shrink prep. If not, how do you make the dryer sheet? Oh no, it's literally just you take a dryer sheet, you wet the back window, and you wipe it all over it. There's no like special trickery there. It's literally just dryer sheet residue. Works really well. I'd imagine there's a bunch of stuff that could also work really well. That's just what people have always seemed to use. Okay, I gotta text this customer really quick because he's gonna be in a couple minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah, because he's going to be here in like 10 minutes. So I just have to send him a message because he's going to get here right when I'm probably in the middle of this. So I might have to take a break. GoPro! That black is always so annoying, that like delay. There's not much I can do about it. Yeah, BMWs just like to go to sleep. You have to like unlock it and then it wakes out all the little things up and then you can move the seats and shit like that. So we need to take out this, don't think we're gonna take out the headrests. I'm just gonna put those down, but we do have to take out this. So when we take this out, all there is on BMWs is it almost looks like there's no clip here, but there is. It looks like just a solid plastic piece. So you dig your blade in and you pop it. And then it pops down because it just hooks onto these little metal hooks right there. And then it pops out. So this just literally pops down. It's this specific year though, or model range. I wonder if we can put a, makes me a little nervous. We might put a soak rope right at the bottom of here. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. So, I remember a horror story a long time ago where I did a BMW 5 Series and water hit an amp. This was years ago. So I'm gonna put a soak rope down just to be like 100 on this. It's not something I'll usually do, but you know. We're gonna do this to be extra safe. And then we should be able to tint the whole thing and then cross our fingers on pulling this out without fucking things up. That's always the goal. Where's my towel? Yeah, the little ones. Sometimes I'll still get like little ones that have to be touched up, but you know, you have a ceramic border where the tint doesn't stick very well to it, and the glass is slightly different shape on the outside. So it's just one of those things. You get air and water settling right in those dot matrix. So you're just trying to get the film to lock down as best as you can. All right. Oh, we have the last window already. Cool, so that's all that stuff. We should be good. Clay bar. Let's get this plastic out of the way. What do we got? Cool, let's go. I don't want to pop down the seat though. My issue is it makes me bump into the roof too much. I actually like the added room that I can work with. But all I gotta do is get stuff over the headrest, and I've got enough room to do that. It's really not too bad. I think we're gonna switch it over to B cam for this back window, but we'll see. Where's my, no, not this guy. Don't go disappearing on me now. Oh, there it is. Ha. Little side swipe. Good deal. Give it one more quick. A little lighter. We good? Oh, no message. Interesting. Oh, we're gonna switch this camera. Then you can kind of see how that stuff sets down. Maybe a little bit. We do enough back windows with GoPros. Let's try and make them look a little better. So we're just gonna pull the whole thing. Toss that in. Then we're gonna pick it up. I always go on the passenger sides, just personal preference. So like this. And then you kind of just like go and then sweep your arm underneath it. And then taco it up. the very end to stick on the glass and then start rolling it up little by little. So push it down, roll it up, because it'll start to stick if you put too much on the glass. So you want to go little by little. And cover your bottom edge. Once you do that, you're free and clear to roll the rest up. It'll still shift around a little bit, but it usually doesn't go too far after that. All right, so when we squeegee this out, you see we're starting in the middle. We'll switch it to the GoPro. Because when we squeegee this out, we want to kind of stick to the center and work everything out evenly. Think of it kind of like a ripple. Like we divided it in an H pattern. And just from the center out. Get down as far as you can. Then we're going to use a little side swipe to like finish it off. So we're going to do this one more time, but we're going to do it without the towel, just lightly mist it. This way I can kind of get in here a little better and see what I'm doing a little bit better. Be a little bit harder. Push out lots of extra water that you can. It's never going to be perfect. Who made my website? I made my website, actually. Just another thing. So then we pull this, go slow. Yeah, it's gonna start to pull there. So like, you wanna be really careful when you're pulling out a soak rope right after a window's been tinted. Sometimes it can lift, especially in the really, really tight areas. So like you can put a little, and sweep it down, hold a wedge like a card in there, so they keep the film down. There we go. Beautiful. Good deal. Yeah, I wasn't like a super huge fan of having to do my own website, but I didn't know what I wanted. I used a Wix template though. They're pretty easy to work with. And we were just doing a basic business site, so. It has really good media integration. So I've been trying to add the live streams to the site and some extra pictures and stuff. All right, where's my scrubby? Here's my scrubby. Ooh. Here. Damn. That's cool. clean. That is clean. It's like that grand reveal. Yeah, boy. It's pretty sweet. All right. Let's get a nice clean towel. Let's wipe off this glass. Check out some little touch-up spots. That was cool though. Just kind of like give it a little scrub, and then when you have it all nice and clean, once you get to this part, you feel pretty good about it. So we still gotta wipe like the inside of the glass down. Still gotta do a couple little touch-ups. But yeah, we have a tinted BMW 5 Series. This went really smooth. It's nice. I love when that works out that way. I gotta see if my, I wonder if my customer ghosted me. Huh. I didn't get a response. You know those no calls, no shows? We might have one of those. Which should be a bummer, but we're not going live with it anyways. And it was kind of like those, well, I got this one here, so we might as well take in one more if we can. But I got one scheduled for tomorrow. We might have to start taking deposits. I have it set up on the website, but I haven't enforced it yet. Might get to that point where it's like, we got a guaranteed person in the morning, then we might enforce deposits on afternoon appointments, because I don't want to have to wait around. So reinstallation, it's really straightforward. You just reverse steps, get it on those clips, wiggle it, lock them in, take your plastic, wedge it in the back, and then there we go. That'll do it. Wipe everything down, take out your towels, your tools. Cars, always tint cars. Flat does really, really well though. Like you'll probably make more money running a good flat business than you'll ever do doing just auto. Full disclaimer, that seems to be the trend. But, I don't know, we're gonna try and create something cool out of here. I do have a race deck floor coming, so hopefully that'll help fix my nasty floor issue here. Put some siding down. Will maybe look a teensy bit more legitimate. Really? Wake up seat, there you go. Let's put him back. So back seat's good. Still got a little bit of touch up with the heat gun. And make sure everything's wiped down and it's 100. So we have the key out of the car. Push lock about a bajillion times. Then we can shut everything. But always make sure the key's out of the car. Cool. Heat gun. I don't know, guys. It doesn't seem like he's coming. I'm gonna have to probably call him now. So we got a little finger right here. And we got a little one on the other side. It's from the pinch, but it's not, it's kind of long, but it's not a hard crease or anything. So we just gotta press this little guy out. Just gotta give it time to warm up though, but don't melt the siding. Get it nice and hot, and then should be just a couple presses, and it should be good. Hey! We got super chat. Cam. Robert with a $10 super chat, sending my own and friends' cars with tips and tricks with success. Thanks for the vids. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really mean that. That's great to hear. And hopefully you're making money doing it. That's killer. Keep at it. Thank you. You. Okay, so we got this one right up here. This little guy. This one's been sitting a little bit longer too. So sometimes when they've dried out, they'll press down a little quicker, warm up a little faster. But same thing, do not burn that plastic. So you have this plastic here, you can easily get it to burn when you hold the heat gun against it too much. So like just block it off, gradually heat up the spot. And then press it out. These ones melt quick. Note to self. I don't often use a pink one to like block the seal or anything, so I actually just kind of melted it. But better the tool than the plastic there. So good. And I think we're done. Shit. Looks good. Looks really good. A little bit. Spoke too soon. Got one little bit to touch up. Just yet. And who knows? I might find one right after the stream too. But while we see it, definitely want to take care of it. So we're pulled a little bit out of the matrix. Just warm it up, give it a second, press it down. The dots are still gonna do whatever the dots do. No biggie there. But anything that's leading in past the dots needs to be taken care of. All right, my dudes. We good? Yeah, bro. I gotta look at something. The light hit it just right, and I'm just making sure it's under the brake light. Oh, it's water. What is that? Huh. Wonder if that was a shrink spot. Let's investigate. Sorry, we gotta do this real quick. Come on. Oh, there we go. All right. Of course, it's right under the brake light, but we're just gonna, I don't know, I see something that looks a little bit like a spot. Not like a air bubble, but like a, yeah, that little thing. Like water sweeping in like a tunnel shape right here. So we're just gonna make sure this is dried. Because if that dries under the brake light and it doesn't seal down to the glass, you're gonna have like a little finger there. So it's not something that we want. How much do I charge for a car like this? This one we charge $240. There we go. Cool. No problems. And then you guys get to see a quick disassembly and reassembly. Here's one. Here's two. There you go. Back up. Good deal. I'm texting him. Right. Whew. That was fun. It was a good one. We are all set. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, we should probably text the customer too. You know what? I'm going to take a picture for him. We're going to take a picture and then we're going to send it to him. I still got the key, so therefore we can shut the doors. Why has he got this thing popped up? I don't understand. It was like that when it came in. We're just going to leave that down. Let's see. kids say hi. They want to shout out Isabella and Isaac. Thanks for watching, Isabella and Isaac. All right, we're going to crop this. God, I need a new floor. I can't wait for that to get here. Save. Turned out great. Cool. I have. Are we still charged? Oh, cool. We're 75%. Got my little camera view out front. So it's super helpful, so I don't always have to like leave the door open and whatever. I got it to also, it's supposed to do like notifications when somebody pulls up into the driveway, but it doesn't seem to do that when it's open, which is annoying. So the idea is like if somebody rolled up into the driveway, it would notify me on my phone, and then I don't have to, keep my eye on the camera all the time. So we might get a different system. I don't know. Cool. Alrighty. Well, so with that, oh, you're welcome. So yeah, I guess let's check that out. Oh, that's too zoomed. That's too zoomed. Yeah, buddy. Can I grab a screenshot while it's here? Top overlay, bottom. Oh no. Yeah, I want a screenshot. Sorry, 2 seconds. New. Yeah, that one's halfway decent. File, save as, desktop, BMW, done. Main camera. Cool. I got the floor from Race Deck, actually, which I'm super stoked about. Great, should be there in 45 minutes. All right, no problem. Yep, looks like we don't have another car today. Gotta love people. We're gonna have to enforce, I don't know, we're gonna have to do something about it. It's like those people that just call in and want it done now. Sometimes they end up calling somewhere else they can get them done sooner, or they'll start like, okay, I got one place on lockdown, and then they'll start firing off phone calls other places. So getting a deposit sometimes is not that simple, but it is what it is. I guess that means a relatively easy day. It gives me a little more time on the stream. I'm glad I didn't rush too much either in anticipation of the other guy coming, because it's like something I didn't think too much about that I have to balance. It's like when I'm actually doing the stream, to like stop everything and then take care of a customer and then come back is kind of annoying. But it's just going to be kind of the nature of things. I'd rather get like a couple cars done in a day rather than just, the one. But I only want to do the one on stream, really. It's just, it can get exhausting between moving everything in and out, getting adjusted, and figuring out what we're doing on the next one and stuff like that. It's actually like, I only got one lane to pull this car out right now, so I have to do some shuffling. So, good job, thank you. So, spend his checks at Walmart. Yeah, maybe. Let me see. Okay, I'll show you guys real quick kind of what the floor is going to look like. But the problem is I couldn't find this on Race Deck's website, but I found it on Swiss Tracks. and they're different, but pretty comparable. You know, giving you like similar look. I haven't looked too much into the specifics, but let's see, Swiss track screen. If I can find this, ooh, yeah, something like this. All right, so let's switch to the desktop real quick. See this? See this right here? Oh. What the heck? GoPro. 1 second. Oh, that's cool. And then GoPro RTMP. There we go. Okay. Because I have a couple other things on the desktop feed. Well, I'm still here. I forgot I did that. That's cool. And we got a microphone? Okay, cool. But yeah, I want to do something like this. This guy right here should be super fun. But we're going to go with like a dark gray insert instead of the black. I was really, really undecided about that, but we'll go, some of the offset colors end up looking really, really fucking good. So we're gonna try it, see what it looks like. But yeah, black outside, we got 2 wide, then we're doing 1 inside, green border all the way around, and then dark gray insert. Should look fucking sweet. I'm very excited for that. Good working for me. Or good morning for me, hard working for you. Get some, have a good rest of your day. Happy Mother's Day, happy weekend. Oh, thanks, Window Tinting Life. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, it is. It's Mother's Day, isn't it? Y'all better do something special for your mamas. Or your wives with babies. Alrighty, well, I guess we are pretty much at the end then. So, hopefully tomorrow, we're going to have a Cadillac in here, so we shouldn't go too long without another live stream. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all learned something. Thank you very much to viewer activity. Who was that? Robert, for the $10 super chat. It's very much appreciated. We just put a lot into the floor. So we do what we can to make the space look good. But yeah. Real quick, I bought some charcoal express window film. What do you think about that? I actually have not used them. Heard good things, but I have not used them. So I can't tell you 100% on that film. But thanks you, everybody. Thanks, you guys and everybody. Whatever. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. So, bye-bye.